Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the the Roundtable for part two. Now, I want to, I guess, jump off from Conor McGregor and circle this back to Justin Gaethje and put them all together and talk about what it means to, I guess, identify with being like a star. Identify as a star, like a man of business. Yeah, make sure that you're the most well known for what you do in the fighting world. So
Mhm.
yeah, identifying with someone who wants to be the most famous, to be the best at at what you do. What do you think of? I guess fighters really resonating with that, and how do you think it? I guess it factors into the way they fight.
I think it factors into the way they fight a lot. I think Henry Cejudo is like a perfect example of that, and I'll tell you why.
Right.
He he said in the post-fight press conference of Marlon Moraes, he's like, "Do you think it's easy to come up here, walk over
Oh,
here with a
oh, you
crown
got cut
on?"
off a little bit. Can you say that again?
Henry's like, "Do you think it's easy to come out here and do what I do? Like, come out here with a crown on and a cape and pull snakes out of the hat and all this shit?
Mm-hmm.
No, then that shit is easy." But what he said after that
Yeah.
really resonated with me. He's like, "That adds pressure to me.
Yeah.
I put more pressure on myself."
Yep.
And he's like, and I'm like, yeah, he's right. Because
Mm-hmm.
I thought that. I was like, dude, he's going to feel like such an idiot if he loses.
Yeah, it's
He's
that big
gonna feel
risk.
like, dude, he's gonna be so depressed how much of a dick he made himself look like. But
Oh,
no, that puts more pressure on him, and then after the first round, he's like, "I'm not losing to this fucking guy.
yeah.
Like, there's no way in hell." And then he
Yeah,
didn't lose.
it's the same way Valentina Shevchenko was because she's the pride of Kyrgyzstan. Yeah,
Oh
she's.
my
I
god,
mean, having the president on your phone. Yeah,
I know.
making sure calling you up for congratulations. Imagine
Yeah,
how
that's
much
all.
pressure it is on her to perform in every fight she's in. I mean, not that she
For
doesn't have to perform that hard. I mean, considering.
being a 56-2 kickboxer,
Hmm.
58 kickboxing fights, and she won 56 of them. That's unreal.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised with how well rounded she is.
Hmm.
Like her, especially her body lock trip takedown. It's beautiful, man. Like she's got one of the best body lock trips
Yeah.
I've seen in the sport.
Yeah. That
Honestly, she
takedown
really
was
does,
vicious. Yeah.
and she does it quite often. Actually,
Hmm.
she fucking armbarred Juliana Pena. She's a stud grappler.
Yeah.
And dude, that head kick of Jessica, I actually that was one of the few times. There's probably like 5 times maybe
Hmm.
where I've wondered if the person was dead after the fight. And
Yeah.
I actually did for a minute. I didn't think she was, but I was like, oh my
Yeah.
God,
That one
that
looked
was
bad.
so brutal.
Yeah.
Like that, Thiago Santos and Steve Baze, like Alistair Over and Francis Ngannou. Like there's a few that are Shogun and James Tehuna. There's a few where you just wonder, like, oh my God, they're probably never going to be the same. Ronda Rousey,
Yeah.
Holly Holm.
Mm.
Some of them were just bad,
Yeah.
bad knockers.
Yeah.
And,
Absolutely.
and that was one of them. Jessica had never been knocked over. If there was any place that she was going to win the fight, it would have been on the feet because she's a boxer.
Right. Right.
Never been knocked out, man. That
Yeah.
was that was bad. That
Yeah.
was really bad.
Hmm. And there's always times where it goes wrong and it kind of affects their persona.
Yeah.
So
Well,
they decide whether to, I guess, do some evaluation or to, I
yeah.
guess, try to clean themselves up and try again, just like Gaethje does.
What was so beautiful about it too, I didn't even mention, is she went to the body. Like the first 15 seconds of the fight, she cranked her in the body like 3 times
Hmm.
hard. First
Hmm.
15, 20 seconds
Hmm.
with hard body kicks. And she did it a couple times in the beginning of the second round too. And she's like, "All right, you think I'm going to the body? I'm gonna kick you in your face."
Exactly.
She,
Yeah.
she's great, man. She really is.
Yeah, I know it's deadly, and I like to see how she how she faces the others. But ah man, I,
Me too.
who do you think will I guess fare against her the best in that division? Because I think I mean Chu Cajun has like a pretty good striking game. I wanted to see
Yeah,
how
she's
that goes.
okay on the feet. I mean, she could have won that fight against Jessica I guess. I
Right.
scored it for Jessica.
Hmm.
But, I mean, it was close. Yeah, she's a good
Oh,
striker,
oh, you're slowing up a little
but,
bit. Slowing up a little
but
bit.
she ain't. I really am. I just don't see it happening.
Oh wait, you
I
slowed up
honestly
a little bit. Could you say that again?
said I hope Caitlyn doesn't see this and think that I'm a dick or anything, but I'm going to be honest. I don't think she would stand much of a chance. I mean, I'm sure Jessica I was told the same thing. I don't think anybody will. I really don't. I think if anything, after a few more fights, maybe a loss so she can grow if she does end up losing, if someone is actually good enough to beat her.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if Tatiana Suarez put on a little bit more weight and went up, she could. Because she's still only 28 years old. She's got a few more years. Wrestlers generally come in the prime in their like early to mid 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Generally.
Mm-hmm.
And she only walks around at like 129 pounds, she said.
Right.
So and her coach is making her lift weights because of it and put on some weight. So if she can get up to like 35, 40, I think she should go up and then try it. But other than that, I really don't see anyone beating Shevchenko. Like Amanda Nunes, that second fight they had, a lot of people scored that for Valentina. People don't realize. I mean, a lot of people know, but they don't put these two and two together. Amanda Nunes went up to featherweight and KO'd Cyborg.
Right.
Okay, she couldn't do that to Valentina, who's a lot smaller, and Valentina arguably won.
Yeah.
Like,
and also, just to bring it back to identity, I almost forgot when I was talking about I guess the Mexican the Mexican wave or whatever you want to call it. I forgot to mention Alexa Grasso. She was phenomenal.
Oh yeah, she looked incredible. Yeah, I forgot to. Yeah, she looked great.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to see how she'll go up in the division. This is the 115. Is she 115 or 135?
Yeah. I feel like Carolina's fallen off a little bit.
Wait, is it 115 or 135?
She's still an elite fighter. 15.
15? Okay. No.
Yeah, she's Carolina Polakevich.
Okay. Yeah. All right, but yeah. And I also wanted to know about Triple G has a love of the Mexican style of fighting, right? That so much that he emulates it in his fighting.
Yeah. He's incredible.
Yeah, and you know that his fighting is based off Mexico's style of fighting, right?
He fights a lot like a Mexican. It makes sense.
But it's also
he's not Mexican, but it makes sense.
Yeah, but he also said that he enjoys the Mexican style of fighting and wants to emulate that. So I guess that I wanted to talk about what do you think it means of I guess a fighter, and it's kind of like with how Israel once learned from another culture and took that persona, took that and made it into his persona. Triple G did the same thing.
I love Gennady. He fights a lot like boxes. Mm-hmm. He's a lot like a Justin Gaethje, but for boxing, and a little bit more. He's 38 now or 37 now and one with 33.
I didn't know he lost against Canelo.
Oh yeah, he did lose once again. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. They fought twice. I forgot. Yeah. So he's 38 1-1, I think. Yeah. With 34 knockouts or 33, one or the other. Mm-hmm. And he's 345-5 as an amateur. Wow. Okay, and he is a silver medalist in the Olympics, I believe. He's got a couple other medals too. But the way he fights, he just walks his opponents down like Justin does. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have any regard for what they're going to throw because he's a fucking juggernaut. Yeah. Like, he could take a baseball bat to his face and he wouldn't. It's unbelievable how tough he is and how much of a chin he has. Same with Canelo. Like, you just can't knock those guys out. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But he does that. He's got a piston of a jab. He cuts off the ring very well. Gennady's the man.
Right. I did love how I believe they had a dialogue about it during after one of his fights about how he talked to Canelo and how he enjoyed he was talking to the audience of how he liked the Mexican style of fighting. I think it was after the very first fight. Yeah, it was the very first fight with Canelo.
I didn't see him. Did you watch both of those?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, how did you score them?
Ooh, good question.
You don't have to give me the numbers because there's 12 rounds and it was a while ago that you seen them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But how do you think they went?
Much closer than what the judges did. Much closer than what the judges did. Because, Canelo was dodging a good amount of them. I think they probably judged it on how many of them landed. And if he shows that he blocked them a good amount, they'll probably disregard it, even though someone would consider it landing. Yeah, and their definition of landing might be a bit different. But
boxing is harder to score for me too.
Yeah, but that's basically how I see it.
Because I heard a lot of people think Gennady got robbed in both fights. A lot of people think Canelo won both fights. A lot of people think they were both really close, could have won either way.
Mm-hmm.
So I gotta watch this though.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, boxing is pretty interesting too. Of how,
I love boxing.
Yeah,
that's what I started. I've always watched boxing since I was a kid.
Yeah,
but then when I was 12, I found
and also
MMA.
I was interested in how people identify. People live out their persona in the ring. I mean, there's a lot of comic books, movies, also like some manga that have people being these like outlandish characters. Prince Nassim, for instance, is kind of like that. So, what are your favorite kinds of personas in boxing?
Well, all right, I'll answer that in a second. Look at Michael Page too. He's another.
Oh yeah.
Just heard to what you were saying, but my favorite personas in boxing.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention to it quite as much anymore because I'm so busy watching interviews and writing and watching fights on MMA.
Right.
But I really liked Ricky Hatton. He's retired. He's been retired.
What about his persona that attracted to you?
He's a humble guy. He just seemed like a nice guy. I first found out who he was when I don't even remember how old I was, but it was a few fights before he fought Floyd. And then when Floyd knocked him out, I was really sad. That sucked. But yeah, he just seemed like a humble, nice guy, and he was English. He's a lighter weight class. I always liked the lighter weight classes. I like Jamie Kavanaugh too, but no one really knows who he is, and he doesn't really box anymore either. He's like,
what was he like? What was he like?
He's like 20-1. He's still young. He's Irish. He's got he's just fun to watch. He's got incredible combination in punching.
Right.
He's very, very fun to watch. And he's a really nice guy. I've talked to him on Facebook a bunch of times. If you ever watch a highlight video of him or a couple fights of him, he's got really good combinations. He's fun to watch, and he's a really nice guy too.
Right.
I really like Deontay Wilder. I feel like a lot of people in his position would be a lot more arrogant than he is, but he's still true to himself and to his fans. Same with Tyson Fury. I really like Tyson Fury too because of how open he is. And I don't want to just say the most popular guys. That's why I gave you a couple names first.
Yeah. But
Tyson Fury, it's not easy to do what he did. It's not easy to overcome, let alone the 27-0. It's not easy to overcome all that shit and to do it because he thought that everything would be different once he won the belt, and then he realized everything's the same.
Right.
And he just got depressed as hell. And I mean, not many people would get depressed when they're on top of the world. Everybody's different.
Yeah.
Not everything's for everyone, and not everyone is for everyone. Everybody's different. Yeah. And he overcame it. He's like, fuck this, I'm the best boxer in the world. I'm gonna go prove it again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, proving his persona as the Gypsy King. I mean, when you fight as a king, you have to prove yourself.
What is that? What is the Gypsy? He said it to Joe Rogan, and I don't. What is it?
Oh yeah, it's like it's a distinct ethnicity of people. Yeah. I saw a documentary on it, and some people consider Gypsy as derogatory, but Gypsy the term as derogatory, but it's a distinct ethnicity of people that in England.
I thought it was more of a label than anything.
Right, but that's what it is. Man, I wish I did a little bit.
What about you? What personas do you like in boxing?
I come to like I
don't think I said Vasil Lomachenko.
Oh yeah, you did. But we'll get to him. But yeah, some of the personas I like in boxing are kind of ones that either complement or go against each other, and you see that happen in the fight. Like with the Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, you did see a little bit of a clash there, and how they tried to, I guess, match up with each other in terms of their background. But in that famous interview on Seconds Out on YouTube, you did see how he didn't, I guess, really resonate to how Tyson Fury said that he was struggling, and considering how Deontay Wilder kind of brought up the point of how his people suffered, how yeah, about African Americans suffering.
I felt a little bit let down on the lead up to that fight. Did you watch that press conference? I think it was the first press conference for the event, like a month before it happened.
Mm.
And Tyson Fury kept saying, "Oh, I want to feel that power. I want to, I want you to fucking punch me. I don't think you can knock me out. I want you to hit me. I want to feel your power." But he just kept going and going. I really thought that something actually might happen. Like, massive.
Yeah, some people thought there was staged when they were just playing up the crowd.
It was, because I seen the picture after that of them both sitting in the back, and like Tyson showing him something, or Deontay showing him something on the phone, and they're both laughing.
Yeah.
It's like, son of a bitch, dude. Like,
I mean, it's a show. I think people appreciate the showmanship.
I know, but it's like everybody wants to see the fight anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's real, yeah, but I can't stand like fake bad. But like, I'm not watching a movie. I'm not watching pro wrestling.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't like each other, you don't like each other. If you want to talk shit to each other, then do it. Obviously, you both think that you're gonna beat the other.
Mm-hmm.
But
right.
I don't know. It let me down a little bit because I thought that was real animosity. They did a really good job of it. I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
Really made that real as fuck. I've been watching combat sports a long time, and I really thought that was genuine.
Yeah.
Same with Cody Garbrandt and TJ Dillashaw.
Yeah.
Oh
wait, but I want to go back to the one of the personas that I like. You know Prince Nassim Hamed, right?
What?
You know about Prince Nassim Hamed, right?
Nassim Hamed, yeah, the Middle Eastern guy.
Yeah, I mean, I did love how he fought, even though he was kind of on that one fight where he had to fight technically.
I actually forgot about him.
Yeah. But he was a champion at one point, so I mean something was working. But maybe just time caught up to him, or either time caught up to him, or someone with skill was able to, I guess, counter him.
Well, he only lost once, didn't he?
Yeah, I just love his persona because I guess it was just maybe just living a character. It's just being braggadocious and just bringing that kind of braggadocious attitude into the ring. Yeah, it's not something people see a lot, like with Ali. I think Holyfield was like that. Mayweather is definitely like that. But it's something that people can see as a spectacle, and to identify as someone who wants to fight, be a spectacle fighter is quite interesting. So that's why I kind of I like that side of him.
Mm-hmm.
But now I want to, I guess. The big question, like the big picture question, is like when you want to, I guess, bring like a persona, or whether you want to just be a fighter, be a pure-blooded fighter, which is in itself is a persona as well. What does it mean to want to, I guess, bring that? Why do you want to, I guess, identify yourself or bring that identity into either, whether it's an octagon, a ring, or a mat if you're in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Well, what does it mean to want to do that, to want to like showcase your personality to people? Whether or not it's like a spectacle and there's people
you
on
want another platform. First off, you want another platform. Secondly, you want more of an opportunity to just showcase who you are. Mm-hmm. That's something that martial arts does. That's one reason Nate and Nick Diaz are literally meant for something like this, because they can't express themselves. You listen to their interviews, like their questions are so short. The majority of the time, I wouldn't even say half the time, the majority of the time they don't even answer their questions. Mm-hmm. Like, they're not good at communicating.
Right.
But martial arts is a way that you can express yourself. You all learn the same shit as everybody else, but you get to make it your own.
Right.
I think it means a lot.
Yeah. Oh, that's a really good point.
And when you bring a part of your personality into the cage with you, it helps you do better, because you're not, you can't really be fake in the cage. You can be fake all you want, but once you're in there, you're you, and you're left with your mentality and your ability and your toughness. That's it.
Right. Yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, especially if you have only one thing to do, if all you can do is box, or kind of like how Mike Tyson, like his only way out was through boxing. Yeah, I mean, his persona is, and especially in and out of the ring, was outrageous. I mean, having a tiger.
He was a cokehead when he was younger, though. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, Oh yeah,
He
even
did.
though
He
even
did
the
that.
personality is like brought up through drugs. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting that that's what becomes of it. Whether it's
Well,
just like an induced, yeah, a drug induced personality or otherwise. Yeah, it's
yeah, I think that kind of happened to Conor McGregor too, honestly.
yeah. If all you have, if all you love, if all you have is martial arts, is fighting. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
interesting to see what
yeah,
becomes of you once
that's a good
you get
point.
into that.
Because Mike was growing up being taught like you can be the best boxer in the world. I don't think it was from his mom or his dad. He didn't have
Was it
much of a family.
Customato? Oh wait, yeah, because he went
I
through
don't
like
know
those
who.
hypnotic lessons. Yeah,
Yeah,
I remember.
those. Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And he was such an angry kid.
Hmm.
So he would literally like a lot of it was from anger, but his technique was so good,
Hmm.
and he was so fucking viciously powerful
Yeah.
that it worked out for him. And something that I really like about him though, I
Mm.
didn't really like him that awfully much because he said he did coke for most of his big fights, and I
Mm.
was like, his whole career is a fucking joke.
Mm.
Like that sucks.
Oh.
But
Eh.
anyways,
I don't know.
regardless, the other fighter could have too
Hmm.
because they didn't drug test, obviously.
Yeah.
And um, one thing he said that I really respected, I don't know if he said this after he retired or
Mm.
what, but he said Hoist Gracie would have beat me. Not a
Mm.
lot of people would admit that. He's
Mm.
humble, and I really appreciated that.
Yeah. Yeah,
But after he
it's a
started
different
taking,
it's a different industry, a different martial arts.
yeah,
So yeah, it
yeah,
is good, big on him to
after
admit that.
he started taking what was it, anger
Hmm.
medicine to help his anger problems,
Right.
that's when he started to fall off too.
Mm.
That's
Interesting.
crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Because then if he didn't have it, he would have had I don't know. That's just what I've heard from the source with him with a documentary I watched.
Yeah.
But man, that's something to consider. It could be
Yeah.
why.
Hmm. Yeah, and speaking of I guess fighting a different style, did you know that Muhammad Ali fought someone else in
Yeah,
like a pro
it
wrestling
was
match?
Funaki, I think. Well, it was like an MMA fight, I think. He just
Technically,
didn't.
yeah.
It wasn't called MMA, and he didn't want to go to the ground with him.
Right.
That
Yeah.
was a really fucking honestly, it was a stupid fight. I like the idea
Yeah,
of it,
it's a
but
fun side of history, of boxing history, don't you think?
yeah, it's interesting. I'm surprised something like if that would have been a good fight,
Hmm.
something more would have came of it right then. Mixed martial arts may have been right then.
Yeah.
But it was so lackluster and they wouldn't engage with each other.
Hmm.
But then again, the Gracies were challenging everybody down in Brazil in Tudo fights, which Vale Tudo is really like no rules MMA.
Yeah.
And they still didn't get created then either, so maybe not.
Yeah.
But Muhammad Ali is a lot.
Oh, your audio dropped throughout the entire sentence. Repeat
I,
that sentence.
I said Muhammad Ali is also a lot more famous than the Gracies were at that time, though.
Hmm.
So if he would have showcased that, maybe it would have gotten more popular
Mm,
sooner.
I suppose. Well, yeah. But yeah,
Hard to
that's
say.
a good
I
point.
mean,
Yeah. Uh, hmm. And I think, and from accomplishments, yeah, I mean, from his accomplishments, yeah, I think just doing MMA would get, yeah, just through his accomplishments alone, and him having the persona of being the greatest, and
yeah.
it's brought to this day, yeah, him being considered the greatest throughout all combat sports. I mean, that's
Mhm.
powerful. Yeah, I mean, through
Yeah.
identifying yourself through accomplishments, so you can have pride in yourself, a lineage, a legacy.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's just amazing just to see
For
him
sure.
go through that.
It is.
Mhm.
Another couple guys before we're done that
Yeah.
I really like their personas are
Mm.
Ben Askren and Dominic Cruz.
Okay.
Always really liked them a lot. Ben Askren because he's really intellectually smart. He's a smart son of a bitch. He
Mm.
really is.
Yeah.
He's one of the top 20, 25 NCAA wrestlers ever.
Mm.
He's a two-time champion and two-time finalist. The only 2 years he didn't win, he came in second place. Like, he's so good at wrestling. And he's more of a scramble wrestler.
Right.
He's got such good scrambles. And he doesn't, like when he was getting interviewed by Brett Okamoto in that car, he's like, I don't, he doesn't lie. And Brett asked his wife or his girl, he's like, does he lie? She's like, no, he's too honest. You know, and how he's talking to him as well, like,
Oh, you got cut up a little bit there. Repeat that
how
last
he's
part.
talking about Jorge Masvidal. He's like, dude, we fight in a cage for a living. Everyone knows you're tough. You go out and punch someone behind the scenes and not show your lack of control. Like, what the hell's wrong with you? Like, you fight in a cage. You don't need to fucking buff your chest out. I really, really respect that because not many guys are like that. And
True.
whether they're in the sport or not many guys are like that. And Dominick Cruz,
well, not a lot of people are what? You got cut off again.
not a lot of people are like that. Whether they're fighters or not really, not a lot of people are like that at all.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of guys have ego problems. I'd say the majority of them do.
Yeah.
And Dominick Cruz, he doesn't let himself make excuses for himself. He doesn't lie to himself. Like, a lot of people will tell themselves something for comfort, even though they know it's not true. He doesn't allow himself to do that.
Yeah.
Type of, you know, like, he's like, if you want something, don't be a bitch and do it kind of guy. You know, and I really respect that because I think more people should be like that.
Yeah.
He's a very self-motivated and driven person, and after all he's been through,
Got cut off again. Well, you got cut off again. Can you say the last sentence?
He's the most injury-prone fighter ever. Him and Cain Velasquez. Everything he's been through, and he still came back and won the belt again. How crazy would it be if he came back and won the belt again?
Oh man, if he could overcome his injuries, that'd be interesting.
Because he had 3 years off. And then he fought Takei Mizugaki. Then he had another year and a half, or almost a year and a half, and he came back and beat TJ Dillashaw.
Right.
Now, if he gets a fight, if he fights by December, it'll be 3 years since his last fight.
Yeah.
He's had so much time off, and he's still so good. And he's like, it doesn't bother him. He's like, that's life, man. You know? I mean, it probably bothers him, I'm sure. But he doesn't let it dictate how he feels. Like, he's still his own person. Like, after he lost the belt to Brant, remember that post-fight press conference? Like, he's such a human being.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, really stoic in his behavior. Like, no matter what the outcome, he remains the same.
Yeah, how humane he is. I really love it.
Yeah.
And how humble and respectful, yet, what's the word? Blunt. He's respectful, but he's blunt.
Yeah.
And I love it. He's great. I've been watching him a long, long time. Since before he won the belt in the WEC.
Yeah. Yeah, come to think of it, yeah, you don't see people with personality types like that. So, yeah, it is just interesting to see.
He breaks it down on the Joe Rogan podcast. I really wish he'd do another one. I wish Joe would have him and Ben on again.
Right.
But
yeah, I think they will someday. But, yeah, we'll see him.
Yeah, he broke it down why he is that way on that. It was awesome.
All right.
Well, yeah, those are mine.
Yeah. Well, I think we covered a little bit of everything from boxing to wrestling for that and all the personality questions. Yeah, and we got we touched on what I wanted to discuss. So thank you for bringing that great point with with the Diaz brothers. Anything else to add before we head off?
I'm good.
All right. Well, people, thank you for joining us with this discussion at the Fighting Roundtable, and thank you again, Brady Briggs, for coming in to talk about it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll see you next week, people, and we'll tune you in on the next topic. For now, take care.